Papa Roti, then again, in the ICT sector also, there is a huge opportunity now coming up because of so much of automation happening. Also, e-commerce has picked up since the pandemic started. So there is a lot of opportunity in the ICT sector. Government here is spending a lot of money, to do the automation, of the government services and things like that. In the infrastructure area, also there is a lot of Malaysian companies. Previously, we had quite a number of companies in this sector. Unfortunately, not many are active now, but there is a lot of opportunity also in oil and gas. We have Malaysian companies taking part in oil and gas exhibitions every year, and there's a number of projects Malaysian companies are involved in. So there is a lot of areas where there are opportunities for new companies to come in and basically, export their expertise and products. So once you decide to come in, there are many ways that you can involve yourself. It can be through direct exporting. In that case, you just find the agent, who's or a distributor, who's willing to import your products and distribute locally. It could be by international licensing or franchising. As I mentioned, a number of Malaysian companies are doing franchising here. And then there could be foreign direct investment as well. We have a few Malaysian companies who are also setting up office here because they find a lot of advantage in having a direct presence here. Especially for construction company, you need to have a local office to do the projects here. Let's quickly go over to, these are some of the brands, Malaysian brands that you can find here in the UAE market. And some of them are throughout the Middle East, actually, in Qatar and other markets as well. Ali Cafe is a very popular name here. They have done very good job in marketing throughout the region. We also have products like Julie, Mummy, which are very popular in Malaysia. They also have a good market here. Most of these brands are quite familiar with you. I believe Kimball is doing very well. Eversenda is a construction company. Basically, they are doing many iconic projects in UAE and in other parts of Middle East. Basically, they do steel structures. If you have heard of buildings such as Burj Khalifa, Burj Al Arab, the frame, these are some of the projects, iconic projects that they have worked on. And they are a specialized engineering company to do steel structures. Like I mentioned before, we have a number of franchises. Mary Brown is one of them. They have around 10 or 12 outlets here in the UAE, and they're doing quite well. Initially, we were wondering whether, going against KFC, they will have a market here. But of course, they found a niche in the market, and they came in. They're very popular among a lot of the expatriate population, like the Filipinos living here, or, and other Asian population. Daily Fresh also has been active here for quite some time, almost 15 years. They are also doing the franchise way, and it's a very popular snack franchise in the UAE. Papa Roti is another big success story for Malaysian company. Now, what are some of the challenges of doing business here? This is some of the things, some of the feedbacks that we always give to our Malaysian companies when they're trying to look into this market. We always tell them you need to have a long-term commitment. It's not just coming once and oh, it doesn't work out, you go back and you forget about it. No, you have to keep coming back here. Sometimes, some of the companies, they manage to find business partner only after coming maybe 6, 7, 8 times, So once they see that, you are really committed and really serious, so the people get interested in your product and they start doing business with you. There are also issues with bureaucracy and approvals in terms of getting registration and things like that. Sometimes some of the products they require, especially healthcare products, they take months, sometimes years to get registered. Some of the food products too need registration. So these are some of the things that you have to deal with when you are trying to come to a foreign market. And then your physical presence is very important. We always tell companies to come here for exhibitions and show their products and build up those contacts rather than just relying on emails and phone. Physical presence is sometimes very important when you're doing international marketing. Especially in this part of the world. I think the Middle East people, they like to see you, shake hands with you and, smile with you or maybe have a meal with you. And, then only they start trusting you. So that is some of the peculiarities of doing business in different places. There are also challenges in terms of getting information. Sometimes Middle East countries, they are not very good in providing up-to-date information in terms of imports, exports, and all those figures, GDP figures, and things like that. But you do your own network, own market research, you get your feedback, and you try to get those information. So those are some of the challenges that, sometimes there are cultural issues also. You send an email and maybe they take their own sweet time to come back to you, But, that is part of their culture. When they need it yesterday, That is sometimes how things happen here. But it is over time and, you get to understand these facts and you don't get discouraged, but you just keep trying. They also require exclusive representation in a lot of cases. Let's say they are interested in your product, and they would ask for, give me the exclusive agency. So I will do my investment in promotion and all those things, and they want to make sure somebody else doesn't get the benefit out of it. So those are some of the things you have to keep in mind, when you are working in these markets. Well, basically, these are some of the recommendations that I mentioned earlier, and some of the feedbacks we give to our Malaysian companies when we, these are some of the things that we have learned over the years of staying in this market. Face-to-face contact, exhibition is a great way. We of course, right now, due to COVID, some of the exhibitions have been in limited scale, but at the same time, Market Dubai, we try to organize a lot of online business meetings just to make sure that connections are being made and, your market is being followed up and, the opportunity is still there for you to look into these markets. Quality, price, all these things are very important. You need to, as I mentioned earlier, you need to do all this market research to make sure your prices are competitive, your qualities, because if you see Dubai market, it's open market. Anybody can export here. Products coming from China, from Indonesia, Thailand, from everywhere. But how do you position yourself? So that's where the quality comes in. And I think Malaysia, we don't really compete on the prices. We compete more on the quality. We offer value because here people, you have the European, American quality, and then you have products from Far East like China. And so customers here are looking for products that offer that value, for a reasonable price, but at the same time, the quality is not, too far from the best qualities coming from Europe and those countries. And other things are, I think, quite, so in Matra Dubai, we are always, if you decide to be an entrepreneur, you have all these offices to help you, to guide you, to connect you to the buyers here, and make sure your business is met with the potentials that it can offer. I think that's pretty much all I have to say. I don't want to bore you too much with.
Thank you, Amador.
Thank you very much. It was, I hope it was useful.
Thank you, Amador, for your. Just to inform everybody, our trade commissioner, that is the boss of Amador, and also Rami is also in this webinar. He attended as a observer, because I just chat with him. And then Mr. Chong Yung Jiang, our senior manager from head office, also in the session too. Mr. Rami, you want to add anything, Mr. Rami? The uniqueness of Doha or Qatar?
I hope to see many Malaysian companies coming to Qatar, especially for the coming period. There will be and I'd like to tell your good service that Malaysian brands and the companies are highly respected here in Qatar. That's why we have to to motivate our Malaysian people and the companies to come to Qatar. And thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Mansour. Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. I believe I pass back to the respected moderator, for example, if there is any question that that need further clarification from all of us.
Thank you, Mr. Mansour. Thank you to our dear speakers for the detailed sharings. I believe we all have learned more about Matrade and its functions now. My friends, if you have any questions to ask our speakers, please type them in the chat box, or you may turn on your microphone to ask gently.
Okay, I give 30 seconds. If nobody asks anything, I would like to call upon, because Mr. Ravindran has been there. He has been assisting me preparing for the session today. Mr. Ravi, can you share your experiences of taking care of our office in Mumbai? He was there for 3 years, and probably he can share the landscape of the market in India. Mr. Ravi?
Yeah, Mr. Mansour. Thank you. So, that was okay. All right. Basically, see, I was supposed to